The hard problem of consciousness. For thousands of years, humans have asked a deceptively simple question: why are we conscious at all? Science can explain many things about the brain. We can observe electrical signals moving through neurons. We can measure chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. We can even map which regions of the brain activate during thoughts, emotions, or memories. But there is one mystery that remains remarkably difficult to explain. Philosophers and scientists call it the hard problem of consciousness. The phrase was popularized by philosopher David Chalmers in the 1990s. It refers to a very specific question, not just how the brain processes information, but why those processes create subjective experience. In other words, why does brain activity produce an inner world? Why does seeing light produce the experience of color? Why does sound become the experience of music? Why do physical processes inside the brain feel like something from the inside? The inner experience is sometimes called qualia. It is the difference between a computer processing information and a conscious being experiencing life. Interestingly, researchers sometimes refer to other questions about the brain as the easy problems. Not because they are simple, many are incredibly complex, but because they can be studied through observation and measurement. For example, how the brain processes visual signals, how attention works, how memories form, how emotions are regulated. These questions can be explored through neuroscience. We can observe brain activity, measure signals, and test hypotheses. But the hard problem remains different, because even if we fully understood every neural mechanism, a question would still remain. Why does any of this produce awareness at all? Why this question is so difficult? Imagine building a perfect map of the brain. Every neuron, every signal, every chemical exchange. Even with that information, something may still be missing. The map would show what happens, but it would not necessarily explain why it feels like something to you. Why does the brain produce a first-person experience? Why is there an inner perspective at all? This gap between physical processes and subjective experience is what makes the problem so challenging. Scientists and philosophers have proposed many ideas. Some researchers believe consciousness emerges from complex brain activity. Others suggest it may arise from integrated information across networks of neurons. Some theories explore whether consciousness may be a fundamental property of the universe, much like space or time. And others believe the problem may eventually be solved as neuroscience advances. At the moment, there is no single explanation that fully resolves the question. The hard problem of consciousness is not just an abstract puzzle. Understanding consciousness could influence how we think about artificial intelligence, animal awareness, human identity, ethics, and responsibility. It may also shape how we understand the relationship between the brain and the mind. Despite enormous advances in neuroscience, consciousness remains one of the most profound mysteries in science. The brain is made of physical matter, neurons, electrical signals, chemical interactions. Yet somehow within that activity, there emerges experience, awareness, meaning, and the sense of being alive. How this happens is not fully understood. Perhaps the hard problem reminds us of something important. Even as science advances, some questions invite us not only to analyze, but also to wonder. Because the very ability to ask this question is itself part of the mystery of consciousness.